Hello! Today I'm going to show you how to make these fun, personalized signs using some basic craft materials. Feel free to pause, go back, or speed up to complete this project on your own time. Let's get started. To begin, you should have some paper, some markers to color, tissue paper, which we'll use for streamers, a pair of scissors, some sticky or adhesive dots, and you may have buttons and pom-poms to add some extra decorations. Next, choose which colored paper you like to use. I'm going to use this green color on top. Just put these away. Next, you'll take your scissors and cut out your piece of paper. You can keep it plain, or you can make these fun shapes using round and pointed edges, cutting out the corners into different shapes, or you can just go and keep your paper plain and simple. It's up to you what you want to do with your paper. So coming up, we're going to go and make our strips of tissue paper that we'll use as our streamers. As you can see here, I've already cut out some. These are just examples. I'll show you how to go and cut these out next. I'm going to choose my color tissue paper, which I chose pink, green, and yellow for my project today. Taking these papers, I'm going to go and line up the edges. This is just a way that I like to do my project to make it a little bit easier to cut multiple strips at once. You can also just cut strips one at a time, but I find this makes it quicker. So I'm folding my tissue paper in half, and that's going to allow me to keep the paper secure while also being able to cut out lots of strips at once. So here I'm just creasing the edges to keep it nice and secure, and next we'll go on to cutting the strips. So starting from the bottom and cutting away from yourself, just cut straight up to make some nice rectangular strips. After I show this, I'm going to speed up a little bit, but just take your time and cut out your strips as you can. Since it takes a little while, I'm going to speed up the video, but you can pause, take as much time as you need. I'm just going and fast forwarding through my process to save a little bit of time. And now I'm back with all my strips. I should have plenty to go and do my project. But at any point, if you think you need more, you can always cut out more. Now here, I'm just showing how I have all my strips ready to go, and how on the piece of paper at the bottom, I can just attach these strips straight how they are, if that's how you want to go and make your sign, or we can decorate it a little bit further with some accordion folds, tassels, and this fun garland shape to go and add a little extra texture. So first, I'm going to show you how to do the accordion fold. This just means that you go back and forth, flipping over the paper to go and make creases that will make a nice wavy pattern at the end. So here, I'm just going and flipping the paper over a little bit, creasing it nice and secure, flipping it again, and putting the paper the other way. And I'm going to continue these steps until I get all the way to the end of my paper. I'm going to speed up a little bit here just to make it a little bit quicker, but take your time. There is absolutely no rush. So now that I have finished my accordion fold, I'm going to go and crease the edges one last time, and we are done with this wavy accordion fold streamer. Next, I'm going to show you how to go and make this box-shaped garland. So for this, you'll need 2 sheets of tissue strands and some adhesive dots to stick them together. So taking my sticky dots, I'm going to go and take off one piece, and I'm going to attach it to the end of one of my strands of tissue paper. I'm going to take the second strand and make an L shape to attach them. This L shape will be our start of the garland. So taking the bottom strand, I'm going to flip it over the top strand. I'm going to repeat this process, taking the bottom strand, which will be the one you just flipped, and flipping it over the top strand, keeping this L shape or right angle shape the entire time that I'm doing this. Again, I'm going to go and speed up the process, but take your time. It can take a little bit of while, and you don't need to rush at all. As I reach the end of my 2 strips, I'm going to go and take some adhesive dots again, and I'm going to go and attach the corners to each other so that our garland will stick and keep its shape the entire time. So here I'm taking an adhesive dot, sticking it in the middle of the paper, folding over my bottom strip, and one more time an adhesive dot, taking my bottom strip and attaching it to the top. This will be the finished garland piece. As you can see, I'm going to hold it up now, and as you stretch it out, it's this beautiful boxy shape. So the last tissue decoration I have to show you is this tassel. To go and do this, you're going to need a couple strips of tissue paper. So I'm taking a couple of different strips here. I can mix and match colors or keep it one color. For this tassel I'm showing you, I'm just going to use one color, but again, you choose what you'd like to do. So I'm going to line up my tassel strips on top of each other until they align nicely. So centering them so they all align, their edges are perfect. I'm going to go and pinch the middle, and after pinching the middle, I'll go and twist to go and hold these pieces of tissue paper together. After I twist it, I'll just fold it over in half and twist one more time to make it extra secure that it won't go and come undone. And there we have it. That is our tassel. As you can see here, I made a few more strips and I'm going to start to color. So moving these out of the way, I'm going to go and take my piece of paper, and I also have my buttons that I think I want to go and attach to my picture. So I'm going to take my buttons as well as some adhesive dots after this and a marker to go and decorate my paper. You can choose any colors you want. For this, I'm just going to go and choose a black marker. Keep it plain and simple. So I found some buttons that I like. I got my black marker, and I'm going to start to draw. First, I'll put my name on it, but again, you can do anything you want. It can be a quote, just a drawing, or your name. It's whatever message you want to send with your drawing. This sign is actually being made for my sister Jamie. So I'm going to go and write her name down on this piece of paper. And again, you can do anything you want. If it's your name, somebody else's name, drawings, quotes, whatever you want, whatever message you want to send with your sign. So after I go and write down my name, I'm going to start attaching my buttons. Now you can do this step first or last, but I wanted to go and draw my pictures around my buttons. So I took my adhesive dots and stuck my buttons on first. Once again, I'm going to start speeding up just to save some time for you watching, but feel free to go and stop, take your time. If you want to go and fast forward and skip the step, feel free. I'm just going and doodling here and making my sign how I want it, but you don't have to watch. You just take your own time and do whatever you want. This was just my process, and it took a while. So here as I'm doodling, I'm just trying to fill in all of the page, but you can keep it as simple or as decorative as you like. This is again your drawing. I find this to be very calming and relaxing, very focusing to do this picture, but again, you take your time and do as much or as little as you feel like you want to do. This is completely yours. So here's my drawing. I'm finished with my marker, putting it away, and it is complete. So now we can move on to the next step. I'm going to take my paper and all the tassels, the shapes and garlands that I made, all the strips that I want to go and add to the bottom of my paper, and I'm ready for the next step. So, taking all these strips and my adhesive dots, I'm going to flip over my green paper with my drawing. I'm going to have the bottom part facing me. This is where your tassels will hang down from, so it's very important to go and make sure you're sticking the tassels on the right spot. Otherwise, they'd be hanging behind your sign and you couldn't see them. So taking all my pieces and an adhesive dot, I'm going to start going and sticking them on one by one. So as I finish up here, sticking on all my pieces to my sign, I'm going to flip over my sign, and I am almost done. Now, this could be the finishing step for you. I like how it looks already, but I think I'm going to go and add one more decoration. So for this next step, I can't go and really stick buttons on my tassels and strips because it might be a little too heavy. It might go and make the strips fall off with the adhesive dots. So I'm going to go and take my pom-poms, which I haven't used yet, and I'm going to go and take my adhesive dots one last time, and I am going to stick them together. So one thing that I found helpful was that the adhesive dots stick really well to the pom-poms. So I just went and took a pom-pom and I stuck it straight to the dot, and when I pulled it off, the dot was stuck, and I didn't have to use my fingers to pull it off, go and make it a little bit funny shaped. It just stuck perfectly. So here I am speeding up for the last time, I promise. And we're going to go through this process of adding my pom-poms, and I'll be done right after this. And now for the final reveal. This is the sign I made today. I'm sure yours came out wonderfully too, so hang it up proudly. Thank you for following along and creating with me today. I hope you had fun. Bye.